Early childhood services develop a culture of partnership when educators actively promote and develop collaborative relationships with families. Working towards a partnership is a process that happens over time and may look different or take longer with some families than others. A deep understanding of the most effective ways to support children is achieved through shared decision-making and open communication of shared knowledge and expertise.
Shared decision making is a really important feature of quality early childhood education and care contexts. Educators in the first instance need to have a conversation with each other, a decision, if you like, an active decision to value families as their children's first teachers. And if that is clear and understood and articulated, then shared decision making is the enactment of that commitment. And shared decision making obviously needs to happen in various ways for different children at different times.
I think it's best to start from the assumption that all families are doing the best and want the best for their children. But the way they're going to do that is going to differ. So that any of us who are working with families, whether it's in the early childhood setting or in the more mental health, early childhood mental health setting that I'm working in usually, is to start from that position of kind of respectful curiosity about this family and how is it that they are understanding what their child needs, and how is it that they are going about the process of providing the best they can for this child or these children. But also being open to understand what are the difficulties or concerns, so that you're indicating to the family that you know they're the most important people to the child. It's a responsibility that they're entrusting their child to you for this part of the day, that they will always be the experts on their child, and that the way they do things from their own particular family and cultural background is something that you or I are interested in and respectful about, and that all of us have a shared concern to do the best for the children that we're with, but that we might have slightly different understandings about the way that we do that.
I think because every family's different and every parent's different, I think what a good partnership with families looks like will be different in different situations as well. So in a sense, a good partnership with families is one that works. So that might look very different in one setting to another. It might look very different within the same setting, just with different families who have different needs or different time constraints or abilities to contribute or whatever else.
It's very important for an early childhood centre to know each family in their individual context, because that then helps the families feel part of the community, but more importantly it will support the family's mental health, and it will do that by replicating what the early childhood centre does for the child, but with the family. The family will not feel alone, will not feel isolated. The family will feel that they can talk to the early childhood professionals either about problems or not about problems, just about the everyday, sharing the everyday life of raising young children, which is really challenging. It's a very intense period of time in the developmental stage for family.
So in the first instance, thinking about partnership, it might be worthwhile a group of educators sitting together and talking about what they mean by what they say. So we use the word partnership, what actually do we mean? And this helps us to identify the features of an effective partnership.
I think with early childhood services, one of the things that's important is that many families are connected with a service for a number of years. They can be connected with an early childhood service for at least 4 years sometimes. And so over those years, or might be months, or could be a shorter time, but over any period where they have contact with a service, their needs may vary, and sometimes they may need very little from the service other than care and happiness of their child. Other times they may be going through challenging times as a family, and they may need a much deeper connection. And that's why it's really important for services to make sure that they are in tune in a way with what's happening with their families and changing circumstances.
In the past, parents would be a bit reluctant to just drop into the service because they'd think they could only be there in the morning or the afternoon. Now parents will say, well, can I pop in my lunch break and read a story, or can I come and help with something? And we're really open to that. So we have little group discussions in the morning and group discussions in the afternoon, and we invite parents in to participate in those. So they can come and stay the half hour, they can stay an hour, or they can come early at the end of the day and be there for a while before they leave with their child. So instead of traditionally we used to just say, well, you know, what time could you come and make an appointment, and could you share this in the program? Now we just encourage parents to come in whenever they want to. So yeah, it's completely different to how we used to operate.
One of the other things that I like is when educators share some of their anxieties or joys about the children in their care to their parents. Oh look, Emily did this amazing thing today, I was so proud of her. I was so proud of her. That's a lovely thing for an educator to say to a parent, and for a parent to think, oh yes, she's proud of my daughter, I'm proud of her too. And those kinds of like conversations, or noticing when you're worried, say, oh, I was really worried about her today, I felt really upset because, you know, she seemed so sad and it made me sad all day. I need to talk to you about that. That's really empathetic. And I think it's nice, it's more than nice, it's enabling for parents to realise that the way their children are or who they are has an impact on how you feel.